y'all? Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hello and welcome. I have a new to me indie brand to share with y'all today, and that is Mvndi Mvkevp. This is a brand that I have been following on Instagram for quite a little while at this point, and it's actually been on my list of brands to try in 2025. So I was really excited when the owner Mandy reached out to me and asked me if she could send me her beautiful palette, because not only am I obsessed with makeup, but I love indie brands. I love playing with them, testing them out, creating looks, and sharing them with y'all. She did also give me a code as well. It's going to be Sarah, and that will save you 10% off of any order $39.99 or more. It's not affiliated. I don't get a kickback or anything like that. It is strictly there for you. But let's get into this palette because this is gorgeous. This is the Mint City palette, and this is inspired by their hometown of St. John's, Michigan. I've never been to Michigan before, so I can't attest to that, but I can attest to how beautiful this color story is. Like I said, it is bright, it is vibrant, it is colorful, a little chaotic, but not to the point where I feel overwhelmed looking at this. I feel inspired. It really kind of gets my creative juices going, but this is going to be a 12 pan palette. It is going to retail for $54.99. It's currently available on her website, but you're gonna get a healthy mix of mattes, satins, duochromes, multi-chromes. There's also a pressed glitter in here. I know it's not everybody's favorite. I don't mind them if they're done right. I have very sensitive eyes, so we'll swatch it out and see if it's something I feel like I can play with. If not, we'll skip over it, unfortunately. But we're gonna create a couple looks with this palette. I'm really excited about it. I have not done anything with this. I haven't swatched it. I haven't dug into it. So this is truly going to be a first impression video. But of course, I will always come back and give you my final thoughts in a future palette ranking video after I have created multiple different looks and gotten to every single shade in this palette. But I will have it, as well as everything else that I am wearing and I use in today's video to create my looks, listed and linked down below in that description box. So per usual, if you're ever curious about anything I use in any of my videos here on my channel, always check the description box. I squeeze as much information as I possibly can into that tiny little space. But without further ado, let's go ahead and zoom in, prime my eyes, and get into creating our two looks. Alright y'all, so before we dive into this eyeshadow palette, I do have a gloss that the brand sent me as well to try out with y'all. This is the Holy Grail gloss. This is going to retail for $14.99, and I have mine in the shade Pixie Dust. This is supposed to be a high intensity sparkly diamond shade with lilac, light blue, and gold reflex with a medium opacity. So let's do a little swatch of this on the back of the hand first before we put it on the lips, so we can kind of see what it looks like on its own, get a feel for the formula. This feels really nice. It doesn't feel super wet or super thin, but it also doesn't feel really thick or sticky. It does feel nice and hydrating, and it has like just the most beautiful kind of subtle shift and sparkle to it. So it's like elevated, sophisticated sparkle. It's not child sparkle, and I really appreciate that. That's gonna be really pretty. So let's go ahead and try this on the lips. So I'm just gonna put a little bit on over the lip liner that I have on. It's not a liquid lipstick or anything, so we're just gonna put a little bit on the lips. That's really pretty. It's comfortable. It's, like I said, not too thick. It's not too thin. It doesn't feel like an oil or anything. It feels like a true gloss, and I can't feel grittiness from the sparkle, so I appreciate that, because that's one thing I cannot stand about a sparkly gloss is I don't like it when they are too childish looking on the lips, and I don't like it whenever you can feel like the glitter particles in there, and I absolutely cannot. I just think this is really pretty, and it just adds a nice fun sparkle to the lips. But let me go ahead and kind of even this out a little bit, and we are going to play with this eyeshadow palette. So per usual, my eyes are primed and ready to go with my MAC paint pot in the shade Painterly. And for my first look, I want to play with this multi-chrome. It looks so incredibly beautiful in the pan, and the swatches of it look beautiful as well. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this green shade up here, which is called Andy Tease, and I am going to fluff this into my crease. So I'm going to go ahead and pick that up with a BK Beauty 201 brush, and I'm going to go in kind of lightly handed. I don't know what the pigmentation is like on this, and I don't want to get any fallout. I don't want it to get away from me, so I'm just going to start kind of fluffing it into my crease, building it up and dispersing it. That's got some good pigmentation right off the bat. Let me go in a little heavier handed and see what it's going to do. Okay, so these are pigmented, but they're not so wildly pigmented that they're going to get away from you. They're more buildable in pigmentation, and it looks like it's going to build up to what I see in the pan. So I'm just going to keep it in my crease, fluffing it up towards my brow bone and just kind of softening the edges. And I think I want to build this up just a little bit more and bring it up a little bit higher. So I'm going to go back with a little bit more, and I'm going to press it over top. Yeah, that is definitely building up to giving me the shade that I see in the pan, and I think that this would really pop on top of a white eyeshadow primer just because of my cool undertones. I think it's kind of counteracting with it, which is to be expected with a green shade like this. It can kind of do funky things, but that is a gorgeous, gorgeous like grass green shade. So I'm going to bring this down onto my lower lash line as well. Same brush, I'm just dispersing it, fluffing it out, just kind of blending it along down here and building up the pigment and kind of blending it into my outer corner. This shade went on so nicely. I didn't get any fallout, nothing patched, nothing skipped or grabbed. It is performing beautifully so far, exactly as I want it to. So next what I want to do is go into this brown shade right here and deepen up my outer corner. I think we're going to keep this look pretty simple. I really want to showcase this multi-chrome and maybe put a little bit of this pressed glitter on over top. We'll see whenever I get to it. Like I said, I want to swatch it out first. But I'm going to pick up that deep brown shade, which is called Oh My, with a BK Beauty 211 brush. And I'm just going to kind of press this into my outer corner, building up a little bit of depth. I'm going in very light-handed because I don't know how pigmented this is going to be. That's got some good pigmentation to it right off the bat, but let's build it up just a little bit more. I apologize for Brody barking in the background. You know, he likes to voice his opinion during the day sometimes, and he absolutely is. There's some things coming in the mail. I think FedEx just came and he's probably losing his mind over that. But I'm just going to buff and blend and soften it, and look at that. Oh my gosh, that blended effortless. Like, that was so easy to blend. I love it. These are the mattes that I love to play with. I'm gonna bring that down onto my lower lash line as well, just keeping it in the outer corner and making sure it's nice and blended out here. I went ahead and primed my lid with my NYX glitter primer. This is a tried and true for me, and since this is a new formula, I wanted to stick with something that I know and I love. That way I can get a good feel for everything. But we are going to go in with this multi-chrome all over the lid. The time has come, but I want to swatch it out first. So I'm just going to dig my finger in here for the first time. Oh my gosh, this feels so smooth. Look at that. Holy smokes, that is beautiful. Like butter. Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. Okay, so we're gonna pop this all over the lid, and I'm gonna go ahead and pick that up with my BK Beauty 203 brush that I always use. So it's just this one right here. I am going to spray this with a little bit of MAC Fix Plus. I don't feel like I need it, so maybe I won't. I don't think I'm gonna get any fallout with this shade. Let's go ahead and see what happens. So I'm just gonna pick it up and I'm gonna start pressing this on my lid. Oh, that is so pretty. I am not getting, well, I got one tiny little piece that hit my cheek, but I didn't spray it, so that's my fault. I wanted to see what it was gonna do. But I'm not getting a ton of fallout, so that's good. But this is going on so nicely, so smooth and reflective. It's not emphasizing any texture on my lid. Like I said, I didn't get a whole lot of fallout. It's not chunky or glittery or gritty or anything like that. All right, so yeah, I did get just a little bit of fallout with that multi-chrome, but truthfully, it's my fault. I normally spray my brush and I didn't, and I don't know what I was thinking, but let's go ahead and move on. So for my inner corner, I want to go in with this shade right here, which is called Mint Fest. Let's do a little swatch on the back of my hand really quick. So we're gonna put that one right there. Oh, that is really pretty. It has like an iridescent base to it. It's nice and smooth. It doesn't feel dry. It doesn't feel as creamy as the multi-chrome, but nothing ever feels as creamy as a multi-chrome, but it did go on really nicely. So I'm gonna pick that up with my Singe Beauty EO1 brush, this brush right here. I am gonna spray it this time with a little bit of MAC Fix Plus, and I'm gonna pop this right in my inner corner. This would look beautiful over that green matte shade as well, just to give it a little bit of oomph and a little bit of base to it. But I want to try this on its own. Oh, that is really pretty. Look at that soft glow that it gives. Very subtle but very beautiful at the same time. I really like that. That's my kind of inner corner shade. All right, so I am bringing that shade up onto my lid just to kind of meet up with that multi-chrome and just kind of blend the two shades together. So I just picked up a little bit more, sprayed it again, and I'm just kind of pressing and blending where those two shades come together. And that looks really, really pretty. Okay, one more thing real quick before we move on. I'm gonna go back with a little bit of that deep brown shade that I put in my outer corner called Oh My. I pick it up with the same brush that I use. And I'm just very lightly gonna go on the edge of that multi-chrome just to kind of blend everything together and soften the edge. I'm not bringing it over any further. I'm just kind of softening everything out so we don't have any harsh lines going on. All right, so I think I want to pop just a little bit of this pressed glitter on like the center of my lid. I don't want to go crazy with it, but I do want to test it out because it looks so sparkly and beautiful in the pan. So what I like to do with the pressed glitter is I like to use just a really stiff flat brush. I have this one from Ladybug Glow, and I like to spray my brush first. So I'm going to spray it pretty good, and then I'm just going to dip my brush in there so I can pick up the product. I dip, I don't swipe, I don't swirl or anything like that, and it's just going to pick up a little bit on my brush like that, not a whole lot, and I am just going to press it right here on the center of my lid, and I can build it up a little bit more as I need to. Now normally these work better if you go in over like a really tacky base, but I don't want to put a tacky base over the multi-chrome that I already have down, so I'm just going to go back and pick up a little bit more and just press it once again right here in the very center, just like a little added pop. I don't want this to be super opaque. I don't want it to overtake the look. I just want that little extra added glitter, and that is really pretty. I'm not getting any fallout as I apply this to the lid, and this is like a true pressed glitter. It's not like a ColourPop pressed glitter where it's like glitters in the shadow, and it's actually working really nicely, I have to admit. It's not a favorite of mine. I honestly probably will not dig into this shade much, but I do want to test it out so I can let y'all know, and we'll see how it wears throughout the day as well, if it's going to hang around, if it's going to fall off, or what it's going to do. I'll try and leave a pinned comment down below after I've tested it out all day so I can let you know how it performs. All right, y'all, so this is our completed look, and I think this turned out so beautiful. I'm really impressed with the performance of all the shades that I used to create this look, and I have to admit, I really like the added sparkle that the pressed glitter gave to this look, and it's not uncomfortable either. Like, I can't feel it when I open my eye. It doesn't feel heavy on my lid, and so far, it's really staying in place. But let's go over what I used to finish off this look. So in my lower waterline, I went in with a Give liner in the shade Greener Pastures. I skipped out on the liquid liner and just finished everything off with my Tarte Lights Camera Lashes mascara. All right, y'all, for my second look, I really want to play with these two shades right here and maybe throw in a little added pop of purple to this look. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start with this shade right here, which is called Phillips Orchard, and I'm going to pick that up with a Morphe M504 brush, and I'm just going to kind of fluff this into my crease, building up my shape, my definition, and all of that. So I just picked up a generous amount, and I'm just going to start fluffing this into my crease with back and forth windshield wiper motions, just kind of blending it up towards my brow bone, blowing it out in my outer corner, and I think I'm going to go back and build it up just a little bit more, but that is so pretty. These shades go on really nicely. This one is definitely buildable in pigmentation, which, like I've said before, I'm not mad about. I feel like a broken record at this point talking about how I like a more buildable pigmentation with pretty much everything, with my eyes, my cheeks, all of it, just because I like to be in control, and since I am so fair, it is very, very hard for a really pigmented shade to just get away and ruin my whole look. But that is going on beautifully so far, but I'm just going to keep building it up a little bit more, blending it out, dispersing it, and softening those edges. Take a little bit of that down onto my lower lash line as well. So I just went in with the same big fluffy brush, and I'm just fluffing it right here along my lower lash line, meeting it up in my outer corner. So basically the same thing I did with the first look, just a different shade. So next we're going to go into this deep wine shade right here, which is called Uncle John's, and we're going to use that to deepen up the outer corner a little bit. So I'm going to pick that up with a Morphe M453 brush, and I'm just going to kind of press it in my outer corner, just like I did with the brown shade in the first look. So I just picked up a little bit, and I'm just going to start building up this outer corner. Again, I went in pretty light-handed because I want to test out the pigmentation, but yeah, this one is buildable as well. So all of the mattes in here are very buildable, but you can build them up to what you see in the pan. And once again, like I said, I really enjoy that. But I'm just going to build it up out here, and then once I have it built up, I'm just going to kind of swirl and blend and buff to soften the edges and give me a nice seamless look. That is a really, really pretty shade. I'm not worried about what's going on my lid because I am going to put a shimmer over that. I'm just going to keep building it up out here a little bit more, and I am going to bring this down onto the outer portion of my lower lash line as well. So I'm just going to pick up a little bit more of that shade, and I'm going to go right out here, just kind of tight lining it, keeping it nice and close. I don't want to bring it too far down, but I want to get that depth out there. So next I'm going to pick up this purple satin shade right here, which is called Owl Lens, and I'm going to put that all over my lid. So I'm going to pick it up with a Singe Beauty EO4 brush, and I'm just going to kind of press and blend this into the other shades that I already have down. I want this to act sort of as a base for the other shimmers that I'm going to put on my lid. I haven't quite decided which ones I want to put where, but I want this to be kind of a base for those. So I'm just going to kind of press it on and blend it in. This is a satin shade, so it's going to behave a little bit more like a matte shade, but it's just going to give that added little extra shimmer to it. So very pretty, very smooth. That looks really nice on its own. Like, you could definitely leave that there for an all matte look, but I have to take it one step further because I am extra. So to finish off this look, I want to go into these two shades right here. I just don't know where I want to place the shades, so I'm going to swatch them out on the back of my hand to give me a better idea of what they're going to look like. So we're going to start with this one right here, which is called Fantasy Forest, and it's a really pretty purple duochrome. It looks like it has a little bit of a gold flip to it. Oh my gosh, that is absolutely gorgeous. Very smooth, very reflective. It's not textured or anything like that. It's just nice and soft. So that is our first shade, and then the other one that we have is called Carnival's Cones. I'm not sure exactly how you pronounce it, but it's this one right here, this really pretty pink shimmer shade. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick that one up. This one is just a really pretty shimmer shade, so it doesn't have a flip to it or anything like that, but that is what that shade looks like right there. So I think what I want to do is do this one all over the lid, and then this one on the inner corner, kind of bringing it up onto the lid. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the shade Fantasy Forest, and I'm going to pick that up with my BK Beauty 203 brush. I'm going to spray it this time, lesson learned, because I don't want to get any fallout. So I'm going to go ahead and spray it, and I'm going to pop this all over the lid, just going right over top that satiny purple shade that I put down. And I'm thinking that that shade's going to give this a little bit more base, so a little bit more opacity, because I don't want like a topper look on my lid. I want to have something to kind of adhere to and make it pop just a little bit, and that is really, really pretty. This is going on really, really nicely. I'm not having any issues. I'm not getting any fallout this time. It's not accentuating texture. It looks very smooth and reflective on the lid. All right, so now we're gonna go into this second shade right here and pop that on the inner corner. So I'm gonna pick it up with this little brush right here from Ladybug Glow. It doesn't have a name to it or anything, but it's very similar to the EO1 that I used from Singe Beauty. It just doesn't have quite the same shape, but it's gonna work fine. Anyways, I'm going to pick that shade up. I'm gonna spray it with my MAC Fix Plus, and we're gonna pop this on the inner corner. And like I said, kind of blend it up onto the lid a little bit, bring it down onto the lower lash line, and just kind of make sure that it's nice and dispersed so I don't have just like a blob of pink on the inner corner. But that is so incredibly beautiful. I really like that shade as well. All right, y'all, so this is our second completed look with this palette, and this look is so incredibly beautiful as well. I can't decide which one I like more because I really like the kind of deep, smoky sultriness that we have going on in the first look, but I really like the bright, springy vibes with the pop of purple over here. I mean, purples are my absolute favorite, so they always get a little bit of extra brownie points whenever I get to use them. But again, I didn't have any issues with the performance of anything when I created this look, so I am really, really impressed with the formula in this palette so far. But let's go over what I used to finish off this look so we can turn the lights down, see the shimmer, the shift, the sparkle, and then I can come back and give you my first initial impression thoughts with this palette. So in my lower waterline, I went in my ColourPop Cream Gel Liner. This is in the shade Peach Fuzz. I lined my lid with my ZC Liquid Liner and finished everything off once again with my Tarte Lights Camera Lashes Mascara. So let's chat about these two products, starting with the eyeshadow palette, because this is kind of the star of the show. But I really enjoyed playing with this palette today. I love the two looks that I created, and like I said, I love that I was able to get two very different looks with this palette. It really speaks to the versatility, because obviously you can do something dark, sultry, and smoky, or you can really do something kind of bright, fun, and colorful. You can do some monochromatic looks, you can mix it up, do something a little bit more creative. The possibilities are really endless as far as this color story goes, and I really appreciate that. I love that it goes from really light to really dark, and it just gives me all the shades in between to get the depth that I want out of a look personally. But as far as the formula goes, it was the mattes that really stood out to me in this palette. I found them to be very easy to work with, and I like that they're more buildable in pigmentation, and I like that you can build them up to what you see in the pan. They don't sheer out, they don't dull out or anything like that. As far as wear time goes, I will keep y'all posted down the road in a future palette ranking video, but first impression, I really enjoyed the formula in here. I didn't get any patching, skipping, or fallout with the mattes in here, and like I said, they were very easy to manipulate and blend out on the lid. The shimmers in here are beautiful as well. I like that we got several different formulas. I'm not the biggest fan of the pressed glitter. Yes, I do think it looks very beautiful on the lid, but if I'm being honest, I'm probably not going to reach into it beyond testing out this palette, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. Everybody has their preferences. There are people out there that love a pressed glitter. It's just not something I absolutely love. But this multi-chrome, holy smokes, is it incredibly beautiful. It is so smooth and flattering on the lid. It didn't emphasize my texture. We'll see how creasing goes. Like I said, I'll keep y'all posted, but I like that we got some duochromes in here. We got just a really pretty shimmer shade in here. Everything worked beautifully, and I'm really impressed with the performance of this palette. It really makes me curious as to what else they have to offer, what their other palettes are like, and what else they're coming out with in the future. But let's chat about this lip gloss, because I really love this lip gloss. I am not a big fan of sparkly lip glosses. I'm a nude lip girly. I'm a little boring when it comes to my lips, but this is beautiful on the lips. It's not so sparkly where I feel like there's like a beacon of light on my lips saying, look at me, look at me. It's very sophisticated sparkle. It's very comfortable on the lips. It doesn't feel gritty or textured or heavy on my lips, and it's nice and hydrating, but it's also nice and thin as well. It's not thick, it's not goopy, it's not doing the stringy thing. I just find it to be really comfortable, and I do enjoy it. But that is going to complete this video. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Let me know all of your thoughts down below. Let me know if you've tried out this brand before, if it's now on your wish list, which look was your favorite. I want to know it all. Let's have that conversation, light up that comment section, and as always, I want to thank you all so much for watching my video and spending your time with me. It truly does mean so much to me. And if you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up before you leave. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click on that notification bell so that you can be notified of all my future posts here on my channel. I do post quite a few videos every single week, and I wouldn't want you to miss one. But until my next video, have a good one. Bye.